Hey y'all! Alright, so I've got 10 or 15 minutes to spare. I've got to take my van in to get brakes because when I put the new tires on last week, did I mention that? I got new tires. Needed brakes. So, got to take it in. I just went by my mechanic. I actually called him and I was like, my mechanic's just getting to be one of those grumpy old guys, I guess like me, but so desk cleaning in the meantime. Sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. I called him and I was like, when do you want me to bring my car down? I've got the brakes. And he's like, well, anytime. I was like, okay. It was 7:20, so I was like, okay, well, I'll come down now. He's 5 minutes away. Got down there. He was sipping on his coffee, and I was like, he goes, well, do you want me to give you a ride back? And I was like, well, no, I was just going to wait for it. And he's like, oh. And then he kind of like stalled, and then he was like, okay, well, we got to get something to eat. And I was like, do you want me to bring it back? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what, like 30 minutes or so? He's like, yeah, I guess so. So I came back to the shop. I thought I had to go, I could have gone and looked at the door, but that person didn't want to irritate them so early. So I'm back at the shop for just a bit to handle cleaning the counter, I guess. And I've already started, but I was going to say that I'm going to be talking about, instead of it just being a counter cleaning, I wanted to go get a plastic bin and just do this. And I actually could have, because there's not really that much important stuff up here that needs to be kept separate. But so files, I was using these in my in a video on filing that 434 lever thing, desk lock. In that video, sorry, I'm stretching over. Can y'all even see what's over here? No, you can't. Let's go like that. Because I keep some of my stuff in here. And I've actually got some spring caps and stuff in the bottom there. So I actually need, I was just about to do this, but I'm going to clean that out. So I'm just going to put all my tools in here for right now. And then I'm going to sort this out. I have no idea why or how I have that conduit piece or a gray water pipe. I don't know what it is. That's still springy. That's still spring. Ow! Don't ever do that, guys. I knew it as soon as I let it go. Let's just hang it right there. Hang it on a key hook. This is one of those sticky pouches where you can put your stuff in there. They're crap. Don't get those. Thinking to like stick it somewhere and put like business cards or a photo or whatever in it. I mean, they'd be okay for a photo. I've got another toolbox over there, by the way. Tape measure. Yeah, you know what a tape measure is for, right? It is time for this Hagar that I talked about in a video to go away. So it is hitting the scrap bin. Farewell, Hagar cylinder. So the cylinders that I have out here are just ones where, like this, I mean, just kind of cylinders that just appear as I'm working throughout the day. Because I have done this too many times into a box, so the cylinders just kind of all end up. This one's out of the truck. What I was going to do here was, I've got two of these, one here, one here, and a slightly dented faceplates. I hate it when that happens. Look at, you can see somebody dropped it. Somebody, not being me. I took these off of a door to replace them with something else, even higher security. But at some point somebody had dropped them, and they've got a little bump right there. So these would really just be, you know, yeah, I can either sell them as a, oh, don't forget to do that. These, I'm either just gonna sell them as used or use them, like use the core out of it, maybe. If something happens to another core, probably is what I'll end up doing with those. So let's just set this. This is a Yale cylinder that was in one of the videos I was talking about Yale cylinders. And I've got several key in knob, key in lever guys right here. That is L4. That's an L4 cylinder. So these go to my vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and move them here. Desk lock that I need to make keys for. Actually, I had wrapped something around this. I was attempting a project, these little desk locks. I cannot remember had to do. I know I've included some of these. No, don't lock. There we go. Some of them have the hole so that you can push, well, presumably where you can push in. And I may have actually messed this up when I grabbed it with a pair of pliers. It may have squeezed that core. But anyway, you take, you push that retainer down and there it goes, there it goes, there it goes, there we go. I didn't want to take too much time doing that, but it worked out. Come on. And don't push it back in. Yeah, it is pretty tight because I squeezed it with the pliers. I can't remember what I was doing, but I grabbed around, I put tape around it, and then was doing something with pliers. There we go. And your bar plate goes out there on these. So that's your spring retainer that I just pushed. It is, as with most of those, a lot of them has an open bottom or no bottom to it, so you can't just reach in with a hook pick and pull it down because there's nothing for it to hit. As we see, it's got an open bottom there. But on some of these locks there was not a hole. So basically what you have to do to get it out, if you ever had to, is drill your hole. And on these desk locks, it's always the length of the plug. There's two different lengths of these. This is the short one, so it's pretty close to the back. And then on the longer one, it's a little bit further. You kind of have to guess if you don't have a thing right there with you. But anyway, that is, hey, are these wafers, you know what? These wafers are pretty important. I think these styles of wafers go in with those CCL padlocks. So I'm actually going to hold on to those wafers. I got baggies for that. And see if they will work in my CCL padlocks. But other than that, that's going in the garbage. Or in the scrap metal. Alright, make sure we'll refocus back out here. I'm going to put that up there so I'll remember to put it in. Wiser deadbolt, I just had to pull a core. Somebody had a worn out cylinder, but theirs was Schlage, so I used the actual upper housing and had the Wiser. Everything's still good on this Wiser core, including the cap and tailpiece, so this is going to go in the truck. Don't really need that for when somebody's Wiser core is worn out while I'm rekeying a lock. So that will go where, here? Yeah. And then this goes back in my Wiser bin. Or I may just go ahead and strip out of this housing too and throw the deadbolt out, but I still have the latch. So I could take another core from another one and put in here and have a complete deadbolt. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to set that in my Wiser area. These need to get worked on. This is another knob. That one is kind of rough. I may just do that as a giveaway thing. I wonder if that's my mechanic calling. Yeah, Jeff, that was you that just called. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I kind of right talking to you, Jeff, because I was literally talking on the phone to you just a second ago. I kind of, my attention distracted a little bit because an officer, I'm sitting here doing this video, and an officer pulled up out front, and he tried to turn in, and he flicked his lights on. And, I mean, he may have been going to the shoe shop. Usually they're either coming in here to get patrol car keys or going to cleaners or the shoe shop for their boots. But he, like, flicked his lights on, and then, like, right at the end of our, conversation, sounded distracted because I was wondering what the hell he was doing. But damn, my phone again. He tried to turn it in and flicked his lights on and then just decided to go on. Okay, so that was another customer, and I'm going to have to suspend counter cleaning right now. Again, obviously. So I'm going to make a little room. Make a little rooms. I've got to go get my coffee and go, but I got so many things to talk about in here. So I'm going to do my breaks. I will clip in whatever video I can get from that, but otherwise I'm gonna run do all that real quick. So see y'all in a minute. Dang it, my rotors need rotoring, resurfacing, whatever. Waited too long. Sucks. Okay, to continue this, I'm back in the shop. I used one of the, more cylinders come in 2 packs. Kid-like, so you got 2 cylinders, 4 keys, and I used one of them, and somebody needed the 4 keys, so I took a picture of the original bitting and cut it just so it had a key for it there. And this one is one that I just recently made keys for, no cam. Where were we on this? Best. I managed to, these came off of a belting just recently. And after a couple of tries of picking it to the regular position, I managed to pull off with a regular tension wrench, not a IC core removal wrench, but just a regular tension wrench. I got lucky, I guess, and picked them to the core position. So now I can use these again for a panic device. That's what they came off of once I repin these. By the way, shout out to Tyler Thomas. I think his Tyler J. Thomas maybe on YouTube. I'll put a link right here. He just started in on YouTube. He is a locksmith over, I believe, in Georgia, and does a lot of commercial stuff. And his introductory videos were for best SFIC. He went over tools in one video. He went over pinning in another video. And like I commented on his video, I was like, man, the day that you uploaded that video, I'd actually had to rekey a couple of these, and I was like, hey, I should do a video on those because I've never done it. And I will still do my own because we don't do high volume at all. It looks like they do high volume best. We do kind of small volume. We mainly do it for our military guys and a few of the government housing areas. But most of that is just key copying, and also some of our departments of Mississippi in the area have best, so we do frequently have to pin up new cylinders or replace lever handles. So don't do a lot of best pinning, but I have my own tools. Some of them are slightly different than Tyler showed in his video, but definitely check it out. I linked it earlier there or now or whatever. So back to that, and I'll still one day get to my video. I kind of use a slightly different approach. There's only kind of one way to pin best cylinders, but that You know, he showed a variety of different tools. Some of those I don't use. I don't have the fancy cap and presses because we don't do high volume. There's no point. If I had a job where I had to do 1,000 cylinders, I would definitely buy one of those. But ours are, I think, most of the time, the max would be 20 to 30, I think I've done before. So that was kind of a pain in the butt. But for the most part, it's 1, 2, or 3 cylinders that I have to do. No real sense in doing high volume. So my tools and stuff may make it a little bit easier for those that are just getting into it. It's still expensive, the kit you got to buy, you know, the cap and block and all that. But one day I'll go over that in a video, not today. Quick set latch. Salvage these as much as you can because these are a smaller diameter. And frequently on bar doors now they have the rotating collar that makes it bigger. And on many old antique iron bar doors or storm doors, the door is super thin. And this, the bigger one with the collar, the new stock, will not go into that hole without grinding it out. So anytime you run across a quick set deadbolt where the latch is this fixed back set 2 3/8 with no rotating collar, hold on to these. These are very important latches to keep on hand because I'm actually, they're probably not, but eventually I'm going to send an email to Schlage saying, hey, you guys need to provide that as an option. There's a couple of little clips for one of my bags. That's just personal stuff. And then we have a lot of screw pouches. So we got various screws here. We got some stove bolts, I think these are called. These were rusted up in my truck. You can still see there's a little rust on them here. But better than it was. So those are going to go back in my truck. Empty Yale box. I used this cylinder on something, so get rid of that box. Here's a bad bag. Little bags, these are perfect for broken keys. When somebody brings in a broken key, the head and the blade, we give it back to them. We make the copy. We put their original broken key in this bag until they get home and check their key. And then of course with the bigger size, you know, like 1x2, 2x3, 3x5, 4x6. You can get them at Walmart or hobby stores or anywhere like that. Going back to this, I moved it right before I left for the mechanic. I kind of scraped everything over. There's a Schlage latch that's still good. There's a puppy. Hey, puppy. There's a key tag. Another rekeying tool. There's a split twisty spindle. Garbage. Another little bag. Garbage. Another little bag. Screw pack for Adam's right. That's very common because, and tailpiece bag. That's also very common. Here is a somewhat decent Y1 rim cylinder, but missing a clip and a tailpiece. So unfortunately that one is almost practically useless to me. Here is a, I don't know why is my camera dark or am I just not seeing right? This is through bolts or sex bolts in a dark bronze finish used for attaching stuff to stuff. There's an A series screw pack that actually has a bend right behind us here. So I'm going to reach back there and toss it in that. There's a cam for a some type of lock. A black keyring that I actually personally used. So I'm going to put that in my pocket. There is some RN keys that are all the same one. I think these were miscuts, but I'm going to set them aside because I can always, you know, cut a depth down. This is somebody's key. Don't know whose. Thumb turn for Anderson doors, profile cylinders. It breaks, it splits along that little seam right there. So this is the last one of these I had, and I do not know how I got a hold of that, but as a VIP object right there. So there's another small bag, another screw pack. We're gonna put the screw pack there. Two different brands though. That's one brand, a key and knob, and that's another brand. There is a spring for a mortise cylinder. Typically you will find these with a Sargent because they have this little cup deal, and that provides, when you use a mortise cylinder on a glass door, that kind of gives it tension to hold this up against the frame of the door. A little bit longer screws. These are good. These come with LSDA deadbolts. One of the shining lights of LSDA deadbolts is their little bit longer screws, which everybody did that. There's a little screwdriver, a sharpening thing, diamond sharpening, give it a little hone here, quick, unsteady hone. Yeah, a little bit better. I just sharpened chisel, so I'm not really in a sharpening mood anymore. Thumb turn, that goes in my thumb turn box. Actually, this thumb turn is cut down for something. I modified the tip of this, and I did it for a reason. However, I will never know what that reason is. I think it's because instead of a square, it had just a notch. And invariably never used it. There is another desk lock. You see this one does not have a retainer hole. So as with this style, if you wanted to pull the plug, you would invariably have to drill your retainer hole. I'm not even going to get into this, but this is two different aluminum storefront door bolts. These bolts are sold by a company called FS Forms and Surfaces, who sell these. This is for back-to-back mounting on a glass door, and it uses this weird collar. The two poles are back-to-back, and it uses this weird collar that's got a pin in it, and when you tighten the collar, it sucks them together. This company, I've spent 3 days trying to get these bolts from this company, with them saying, yes, we have them, $6 each, and then all of a sudden, no, we can't sell them to you, we're not authorized to sell them to you. After many emails back and forth, they were like, call McMaster. I sent them to McMaster. McMaster said, nope, we don't have those, which I knew they didn't. And unless you have a really nice mill, it's a left-right bolt, so this threads this way, this threads this way, but you'd have to cut this channel to make it work. Finally, after many problems, we just put the order in through them, but I'm still looking for this. Now this is for a pull push. This goes through the door and attaches to the pull handle, and on the inside you got your push bar that snaps over that, and it's got a set screw that goes in and holds right there. McMaster apparently does not have this one either. Luckily I've got a good glass friend of mine that does glass doors, and he had one. It's broken. But if anybody knows where to get this, could you please leave me a comment? Because I still need those. Still need those. Cap goes in the garbage. Here's some screws. There is another spindle that is a split or a half spindle that will go with my other spindle that I had here. Again, I'm not even going to talk about this, but this is solid brass that I was attempting to do something with. And then you get down to, we'll just go ahead and zoom in here, a whole bunch of little parts and stuff. And this is what really, oh, dowel rods. These are good for hole fillers. If you go to the hardware store or craft store, you can get different diameters of pretty hard wood. You hammer this into a walled out hole and you have a new wood surface. Again, just putting all my tools in here. And when you get down to the nitty gritty, you have nothing but, we're down here. Yeah, we have, you know, driver bits. And put those in my pocket. We've got 5mm socket I found on the street. Drill bits, hinge caps. You know, I don't know where I got this. There's a Avis 83 series dogging mechanism, strike plates, cams. So I'm just gonna throw all the cams and the parts, and oval-headed screws. There is a desk lock that belongs to somebody, and then you know, cam lock, parts. There's this one's pretty interesting. This is a Baldwin little mechanism to hold in a certain style of Baldwin. Lock, scrap key, drill bit, I could use that. Hex wrench, mortise cylinder, collars again, garbage. Still don't know what this goes to, so that's probably going to be scrap. Scrap, bent tailpiece, scrap, scrap. This is a spacer washer. It probably goes on like a profile cylinder of some kind. Things like this are the things that go missing when you're rekeying. So that's going to go in my Baldwin emergency kit. Tailpiece for whatever. I've got plenty of these. Let me throw this away. So I'm going to go ahead and scrap all these cams for the clip. I'm going to save. Screw I'm going to save. These washers suck, so I'm getting rid of them. And going to go ahead and fill up our scrap pan now. That can be scrap. That can be scrap. This can be scrap. That is a broken screw. That can be scrap. I got plenty of those. That can be scrap. Cap, plug. Pretty worn out plug. So we're gonna brass scrap that one. Not scrap metal, but brass scrap, because you get more money for it. More money. More money. There's a little Allen screw. I'm going to put that in my pocket. There's a U-change key. I'm still working on a U-change video, but they are so anal. And in my U-change video, I had planned on showing how to make you a key, because they are super restrictive on it, and it has been mentioned. Oh, look at this LAS cylinder. This is like a half moon alloy, like a medical cart cylinder. Don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. In fact, this bag here may be the cam for it. Looks like it might be, so I'm going to keep that together. Few filing cabinet locks and giveaway key rings. So this pretty much gets me down to a good stopping point. Here's another scrap brass key. A penny. And now what I'll do is get these out of the way and go ahead and sweep that off. paintbrush. Making sure I don't lose any important stuff here. And I'm gonna have to say that for right now, I'm good with what I've got. Didn't really go over a lot of this, but as you can see, this will clear up some room on the counter. This can be scrapped. Raising Cane's. Pen. There's my spiky thing. There's somebody that was wanting a key made for their kid. I'm not even quite sure who had the title, except it was one of their kids, and I was just like, after I heard kids, not my kids, but my other kids, and it may not be his, I was like, sorry, I'm not coming to make a key for some car that is not clearly somebody's. So, go ahead and get this scraped up over here. Let me throw this in scrap metal. Hey. Scrap metal! I gotta get to the scrap metal place. And our brushing off area, which frequently needs cleaning. I think I saw a Schlage of that Schlage spring right there. Come back here. Come back here. Schlage spring. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Look, babe, I half cleaned the counter.
We were robbed.
We were robbed from stuff on the counter.
Yeah. At least you got the part where I have to write and stuff.
That's what I try to keep you an area. I try to keep you an area open here so you can do that because I love you
Oh.
so very much.
And I love you too.
You've got such a wonderful writing surface to write out stuff.
Hey, that bubbled.
Yeah, we need new rubber, but this shit's expensive. It needs to be totally re-hammered down. And this stuff, it was like $150 for the roll of this crap. When I did the back bench and this and all this over here, I bought a roll and it was like 6 foot long, and it was like $100 for rubber down off McDowell. It's
Okay, we'll
rubber's,
just leave the bubbles. It's fine.
yeah, rubber's crazy expensive.
I'm just letting you know, if I ever come across one of these,
Hold on.
it's a rescue.
No, we're not getting another dog.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her we're not getting another dog, people. We don't need no other freaking stinking dog.
No.
Look, she's about to show me a dog.
I'm about to show you a little otter.
That's an otter.
I know.
Wait.
Can you see it?
You can't see that otter. No, wait, hold on. You gotta we're in the light, so come over here.
Now, who doesn't want a baby otter?
I
Look
want
at
a
that.
baby otter. He's so cute.
That was so sarcastic, but I'm just letting you know, if I come across an otter, it's coming home.
I don't think otters live in Mississippi, baby, except at the zoo.
Ollie would have so much fun with that.
Yeah, and that thing would be slipping and sliding all over the counter and floor and
It's okay. It's an otter, and it makes cute noises.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm gonna.
Well,
Hey, yeah.
there you go.
Hey!
Hey!
All right, so yeah, nice clean, half clean counter, and
Oh, and FYI, guys, this will last for maybe a day.
no longer than that.
See? Point proven right there.
Shorter than that. No, I'm not done. I'm just done with the video. I still got to do this, and then put these in my best box. Best box. I can't help it that, like, I have projects that come up all the time. So that goes in my best area. So that's 2 less. That goes in my truck. This is a customer's that...
See, if you pick on him, he continues to clean. It's great.
No, don't pick on me. I've already got a guy that flames me for my truck all the time.
Oh, don't even get me started on your truck.
You shouldn't get started on my truck. It's none of your business.
It's true, because I don't ride in the truck.
No.
I've never driven his truck. I've never even, like, sat in the driver's seat. I've never even put it in gear. I think I started it once.
She's scared.
It's not scared. That thing's crazy.
Scared. You all scared.
He has it trained to only obey him.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of like our dogs.
I saw a thing on German Shepherds, like a cartoon thing.
Oh, dear. Yes.
And they went through all the breeds, and they drew, like, kind of cute, goofy little line drawings of dogs. And then he put their characteristics out beside it. German Shepherd only likes one person, but still doesn't listen to him.
Exactly. He loves me when I'm feeding him, especially lately. Gotta do a video on how long it takes to feed our dogs.
Well, it doesn't take long as he's hungry. Oh, I mean,
preparing it?
Yeah. So that's going in my best drawer. Y'all want to see my best drawer? Hold on.
Is locked.
The best drawer is locked. The super secret.
Hey, what's for lunch?
I was going to start to walk. I don't know what you're doing.
Excuse you?
Excuse you.
Why? No.
Best drawer. Best drawer. Now I can show this footage. Okay. Alright, I'm out of here, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Really? Really? That's real nice for handicapped people trying to get down this sidewalk. Good job, guys. Y'all deserve a tag showing for that one. Tag showing. Block it off. You're pretty good too. You get a tag showing. These guys. Are probably UMMC employees, but I'm going to verify that. And we've got gated off. Green space. That's blocking my sidewalk. Okay, ranking. not sure about this guy. But I know for a fact that this brown truck, who usually parks over on Fonder Place but can't right now, sporting a Jackson flag, decides that he's Jackson enough to take up a spot all day long, all day, 8 to 5, taking up one of these spots that somebody could use to go to Saltine or any of the dueling shops, or even the grocery store if it's full. But no, he's special enough to park his truck out here all day on the street too, instead of the UMMC employee parking lot. Good job, dude.